Long ago, in a town much like yours, there was a young woman who was very happy. Until one day her heart broke so violently that her sorrow echoed through space and time. So our saga begins tonight. Yet eons ago, just here, yet light years away.
Falafel, good choice. Our protagonist, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Simogo, the developer. You might know them from Year Walk. I'm aware that this is loud. We're going to let this run through. You're slipping away. Everything is strange. Please don't let go. Sleep away the day. Dreaming of the end of love doesn't happen this way. Why do you say goodbye so long? Sayonara, already was gone. Goodbye so long. Yeah, the title track is one of my favorite songs in the game. So I wanted to let it play, but also I cannot actually adjust the audio game, the game audio balance at all. I've turned my microphone up as high as it goes in the settings. I've learned how to do that recently through PS4 streaming. So if I'm going to talk, it's going to have to be in sort of gaps in the music, but that's okay because the music in this game is fantastic. It's really kind of the key feature. The game's been described as a pop album video game, or I called it a playable music video at one point. So I'll talk on quieter screens or things like that, or I'll talk really loudly if I need to, because I don't have much control over the balance, unfortunately. But yeah, that's okay. Lots of language options, which is nice. Wow, lots. And yeah, the only thing I can do is change how much my controller vibrates, as well as the language. But each of these sub-screens is worth visiting just for that ambient soundtrack there. Let's talk up front about the game's developer. Simogo, as I said, known for Year Walk, sort of adventure game based on Scandinavian folklore. They're based in Sweden, in Malmö. Simogo itself is just two people, Simon Flesser and Magnus Gerbeck, who is known as Gordon. That's where the name comes from. I guess it's Simo Go. But with this game, they had the help of several other developers, such as Magnus Jensen, Bjorn Persson, Carl Karjalainen, and Asa Wallander. They collaborated on a few things before, such as like a Lode Runner revival. But yeah, this game is really something special. It's been in development for, I think, 4 years. According to what I read, it started in 2015 and finished in 2019. And I first played it through the Apple Arcade system on my Apple TV. Yes, now the music, as Gibbon says, asking about that. So Daniel Olsen, who has collaborated with Simogo before, did all the synth music for this game and also arranged the pop tracks that are in it. So the story of those is that they contracted Jonathan Eng to write pop tracks, and then Daniel Olsen arranged them so that they fit the gameplay. And the vocals in the game are all done by Linnea Olsen, which is mostly on those pop tracks, which occur during boss fights. Just go to the other subscreen briefly. This is like extra challenges for the game that are sort of cryptically hinted at. And there's a separate screen with extra ones as well. I don't think I managed to do any of them on my previous playthrough, but I haven't been like coming back and constantly playing the game either because I don't want to wear it out for myself. I haven't played it since then, and now I've bought it on the PS4 so I could stream it. So the whole soundtrack, including the pop tracks and the more synthy tracks by Daniel Olsen, it's all available digitally on all sorts of different platforms, and I highly recommend checking it out. But you'll see why when I actually play the game, because it sounds amazing. So let's get into it.
Let's pop!
Let's pop! So after you beat the game, you unlock an arcade mode that does all the stages in one go.
Harmonious universe existed,
but part of the experience is going back to that menu screen.
And 3 divine arcana watched over it. But one night, a cursed arcana intersected the astral highway across the allies. They stole all harmony and hid it in their vile hearts.
So there's a lot of tarot imagery throughout this game.
Before the divine trio started to fade, they created a heroine from the shards of a broken heart and hoped that she would one day be strong enough to save their world.
That's us, the Fool. And here's gameplay. So a lot of the stages are basically like this, kind of auto-runners, and they're all about getting a high score, but they're also really all about the experience of playing it. The combination of gameplay with the music and the visuals, just letting it wash over you. You don't have to go for a high score if you don't want to. But if you are, the key is not dying, because if you take it out, it resets you instantly, puts you back a little bit, but you lose your combo multiplier. As I pick up successive little hearts and items and stuff, each one is worth more. So if you die, that gets reset. I think this is my second or third time playing most of these stages, really, but I've watched a complete run through the game several times just because even just watching that, and especially if someone's playing it well, is a great experience. So there's our transformation into the Fool. And what a costume. It's inspired, the sort of fashion in the game is inspired by the teddy boy culture, I believe, of the 50s.
Heart rate 1.
I think I'm getting that right. Teddy girls, not teddy boys, because there were, yes. But anyway, what did I get rank wise? I got a gold. Great, that's excellent. It's really just there for bragging rights, I think. So yeah, here we are. We're transformed, and now we're being sent on our cosmic way to correct the wrongs to this strange world. Starting with going after the devil. And we'll see how that manifests later. So yeah, all the music, as I said, the kind of pop songs and lyrics are written by Jonathan Ang. The rest of it's done by Daniel Olsen, except for that initial level, which is based on Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune, a classic song you may know. Of course, it was arranged by Daniel Olsen. Oops, I missed that. So you might notice that there's the small hearts, the larger outline hearts, which are worth more, and then every level has a few of the square rotating kind of cards, which are worth even more, and they're like tracked on the...
Gold rank.
There we go, I even got a gold on that. Just goes to show, being familiar with the levels is the key.
Doki Doki Rush.
Doki Doki Rush. So, bottom right corner there, above my score, is the little card icon. So I got 1 of 2 in that level. By the way, you might notice the narrator. That is actually Queen Latifah, and that was something that Cymogo sort of almost jokingly requested of Annapurna Interactive, their publisher for the game, and they came through with it. So there you go. All right, so here we are in Haytech Valley. And we're using the Wheel of Fortune card to augment our abilities. Yes. Love it. Okay. So this is where the motorbike comes in. We'll be seeing it a lot. Oh wow, this feels really good on a DualShock 4 actually, because there's a lot of rumble that I wasn't getting on the Apple TV. God, this game just makes me smile. So I already missed a card, I realised that. But I got the next 2. But that's something you only really need to worry about on repeated plays. Especially on your first run. It's just the experience. Alright, so here's the antagonist characters. Gibbon says it's very pretty, and oh man, motorcycles, yeah. So good.
Fighting Hogs.
Okay, so I only got a silver on that last one. That's okay. You can see the little crown icons for the gold rank levels I've cleared on the bottom left. And silvers is just a round dot. Let's keep going. The Dancing Devils. Oh god, it's so good. This is where the quick time events come in. Timing it with the music and the visual cue. If you get it just right, you get 250. Otherwise you get 50 or 100. Not doing too well so far. Focus on the cards than getting the timing right. But if you do time those right, it feels much better with the music, syncing your actions up to it. So yeah, as you can see, it's a sort of combination autorunner with rhythm game. Very set-piece driven, etc. But gosh. Okay, so... This is the first boss fight and pop song of the game, and this I think is my favourite track of the game, so let's see if I can get through it. around that fireball. Okay. Sometimes I forget to mash. I'm too absorbed in it. The Dancing Devils take the all three motorbike ladies who fight in succession. But each boss takes a different form. Oops, I thought there was a collectible that I was wrong about its acquisition, so I've lost my multiplier. But that's how much progress you lose when you die very little. It just doesn't interrupt you too much. I love this game.
Heart rate.
I really like this game. Let me tell you about some of its influences. So, the game's official sort of descriptions in stores call it a dreamy arcade game about riding motorcycles, skateboarding, dance battling, shooting lasers, wielding swords, and breaking hearts at 200 miles per hour. So that's sort of a description of what you do in the game in a way. As you can see, there's a lot to it, as Gibbon says. There's so much going on. But, yeah, the ballet bike tricks. Very good stuff. So while looking up the lyrics for the game songs, I found an annotation on Genius.com that linked to a comment that the developers had said about the influences on the game. And I'm just going to read that verbatim. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a soup made of pop culture. It's Outrun, the Teddy Girls subculture, Carly Rae Jepsen, Rez, Cafe Races, WarioWare, Blumchen, I don't know what that is, the 1950s, Modern Dance, Akira, F-Zero, Space Harrier, Sia, Gradius, the 1980s, Charlie XCX, Sailor Moon, Oendan, Tron, Rhythm Tengoku, Punch-Out, and a good portion of ourselves, strangeness and mysticism stuffed into a blender. Which is, yeah, a lot to take in, but I think you can see each of those and how they come into it, especially as we go on. So that's basically one loop of the game that's going to continue over the course of the next few boss fights. So we're going back to the next Heartbreak Zone, which is one of these more abstract tunnel stages, as we progress towards the next usurper of the cosmic power, or whatever this is, which is the moon. Oops. It's actually used the times. Oops. And as you can see, sometimes it just transitions into a side-scrolling kind of shmup almost thing. Oops. I'm slipping a little now, aren't I?
Silver ring.
I didn't realize how emotional I would get playing that last bit again. I'm a bit shaky now. That's okay. Smash.
Forest Ghost.
Oh, this is cool. So, yeah, this actually reminds me. Every character in this game is female. And it's about romance and heartbreak, so it's a very gay game, which is cool. But there's one exception, and it's this stag who clearly has massive antlers. So I was thinking about it, and I realized there must be at least one character in this game who's male. And here in the Woe Woods, we're going to use our card of, what was it again? The Emperor, I think. Yeah. Oh no, it appears. And I'm following it. They've got a slightly different style of music track. Oops. Oh, I wanted that card. I really should focus on not dying though. It gives a better experience. Yep. As well as ultimately being better for points. Somehow, you know, it's just so hard to pass up that. Of course. The game's friendly.
Your wish come true.
If you die too many times, the
Would you like
magician
to
will
skip
appear
this bit?
and let you skip. And I say, no thank you. It's mainly dying from my own hubris. Do ride the deer. It's not all motorbikes. actually skip that one to get that part. Oof.
Silver rank.
Silver rank. So we've just met the Howling Moons there. And you sort of will interact with the boss as you get closer to the climactic confrontation. Are there color options, says Gibbon? Let's do a quick check in settings. Skip disable. It doesn't look like it, I'm afraid. Are you having problems with color blindness in this? Is the sort of visual stuff, some people do find it so? So we've been affected by some kind of substance here, brought on by the Howling Moons. This is basically the game's touch fuzzy get dizzy level. Ugh. Oops. Ow.
Silver rank.
Yes, there are robot wolves. Gibbon's saying, not really having problems per se, but red doesn't really pop for me because I don't have all my cones, but it's still very pretty. Yeah, I guess you might not be getting the full visual impact perhaps. But I hope you can still appreciate what they're doing with most of the colours here. Alright. Yes, so there's usually 3 levels before the boss, so this is where we get our guns. Judgment and I didn't see the other one. We now have an element of shoot 'em up for this. I'm automatically firing out of my bike where I am. You hit the wolves, there's also little boxes to get. See that one? Yep. I know this game is a lot to take in. I tried to show it to my brother who was overwhelmed by it. My spouse also. She also wasn't a fan of the music being so techno and repetitious, but it's all taste, isn't it? Yeah, we're staying steady around silver right now, aren't we? Alright, okay, prepare yourself. Are you ready for the Howling Moons? Let's do it. Dead of Night. So they've introduced that gun mechanic. First person, but oh, we're back. All those hearts.
Silver rank.
Whew. Howling Moon is down. I wouldn't talk about what's coming up. Let's just experience it, shall we? Heartbreak 3. I'm always the worst at this, I think. They're very fast-paced. The tower... So the lovers is the boss and they're in the tower, I guess. Yeah, there's all the tarot symbolism. I guess if you know the meanings of the cards, then the actual imagery of the game might be more impactful. I don't know that much about the tarot. But it's also interesting to interpret what the events of the game are saying about the protagonist. Because this isn't just happening for no reason. My interpretation of the characters in the game is that it's almost a sort of Scott Pilgrim, Evil X's kind of thing. Because once you start reading into the lyrics of the songs and such,
Silver rank.
yeah, you start making these conclusions about what's happening. External thing, but it's all up to interpretation. And yeah, this is a really cool area with the whole floating buildings thing. What that could look like. And we have to hit these targets, or he'll run straight into those balls. That's why you shouldn't get fooled by the cards on fresh playthrough. I'll just leave you to your death. I did tell myself I would try and focus on not dying. I haven't been so good at that way. Sometimes it's hard to read the text on the card. But either way, I got a sword. That was repeated inputs in a row that I missed. Boom.
Bronze rank.
Ouch. That's what hurt. But this is where stereo lovers comes into it. Two halves of one person. This is one of my favorite set pieces in the game. An ordinary level, but there's a really interesting gimmick to it. Although, I think I'd say that every level has an interesting gimmick to it, but this one gets especially mind-bending. Oh, I got it. The third parallel universe. Brain got fooled. Okay. So we had AB, we had ABC. This is ACBC. Now, D. Oh,
Silver rank.
that is such a cool level.
Mine.
Especially if you do it perfectly. Okay, alright. Ready to take on the stereo lovers? This is my other favorite song in the game. All of them are really good, by the way. Okay. And yes, I will be singing one of the songs.
Won't you be my lovely liar? You're a story I desire. It doesn't matter if it's fake. I love to for only sake. You want like this. You want like this. Sayonara, wild heart.
Silver rank.
Even says, all the music has been so good. It is so good. And listening to it on its own outside of the game is really good too. But hearing it in the context of the game, with the actions and with the sound effects that accompany the gameplay, is a whole nother experience even. So yeah, now I like to do both. Listen to the soundtrack and to experience it along with the gameplay. Good stuff. Okay, Heartbreak 4. Let's do it. Push on. The Hermit Walkway. We're going to be fighting the Hermit. And this is a really interesting set piece. It's a bit different once we get to it. We'll see. We'll see. Oh yes, screen wrap. My brain can't always handle the pace of these levels. Oops. Yeah, I guess we just, of course, use that. Ah. Missed it. I'm not going to get gold on this one. No way. Okay.
Silver rank.
Ooh, Gibbon's got some banana bread fresh from the oven. I'm jealous. I have yesterday's sourdough waiting for me. Okay. So yeah, you like the motorbike, but you ready for something a little bit different? In the Desert of Doubts. this wide highway. We have instead the chariot. I love that animation, by the way. She does the flip. This is the outrun influence, I think. Get some drifting happening. On the straightaways, the music is one thing, and then in the drift sections, it's a little different. This is the drift section. Oh. By the way, you might notice that if you pass close by an obstacle, you get a 50-point risky bonus. Could this be the Hermit? Hermit 64 is our fourth of 4 horsemen here. Shikenmore, the 4 guardians, the 4 heavenly kings. Of course, Howling Moon was 4 people in itself. Okay, so we've got the world, and this is where our heroine is transformed into a Game Boy cartridge. And you play out the next couple of levels on a VR headset. Or in a VR headset. Vectors. Remember vectors? Gosh. So this is that whole... This next bit is different that I was talking about. Still playing by the same rules of the game, but... yeah. A little bit different. Definitely more chill in tune. Oops. Yeah, you gotta judge when it's changing. Yeah. Oh. Forgot where the cotton was. Okay. Whew. Oh.
Gold rank.
Whew, okay, the world we knew. Let's do it. Oh, I actually got a gold on that one. That's cool. Let's see how we do with this one. First, water. Stay hydrated, people. And that's 64. You think you're so cool. Okay. So... the surface of the VR headset. I didn't misspeak earlier. the rhythm of the song. It gets really intense and then it just mellows out a bit. Oh, that's amazing. Dang it. Knew that was gonna happen. Gibbon says, suddenly it's Gallagher. That's the idea. Because Hammond 64 is about the retro games. Here's the boss at last. I'm glad I didn't die on that. You actually do have to do that whole last segment over if you die in there. And I did that a lot when I first played it. Ooh. But yeah, that whole segment is a real change of pace for the game, how it usually is. Which is nice because it's just giving you a breather before Little Death. The Ocean of Death. In Heartbreak Subspace. And using the star, we now have a magic boat. This is also a little bit of a change of pace as far as the Heartbreak level is concerned. Silver rank. I try not to get too focused on the ranks because getting good ranks is pretty hard as well, so I just end up disappointed. Okay, transonic gravity. Where we're first introduced to, I guess, the main antagonist, you could say. In Love Dead City, we finally do meet Little Death, as she's described in the synopsis for the game. Little Death and her star-crossed allies, which is the other boss cards there. Whoops. There she is. Of course, if you're familiar with French, you might understand the meaning of Little Death, how it ties into the theme of the game. That was pretty auto-scrolly. But they take that concept and ramp it up a little in the next level. Eight skulls. So we get a little bit of rail shooter elements in this level. Using temperance to construct a boat. Oh yeah, some of these non-boss songs do have a bit of background vocals, but that's Daniel Olsane sort of remixing the vocals from the pop songs, just taking them as samples, I should say. That wasn't too good. Maybe this thumbstick is too sensitive. That's my excuse. Okay, get out. Put some guns back. Shooting love hearts, of course.
Gold rest.
Very threatening pose there.
Inside.
Whoa, okay, this is it. Inside. Let's do it. Ultimate level. Oops. just how ridiculous this is. Silly dog. Hearts do guide you in this section. Actually, bullseye.
Bronze rank.
Bronze rank. Oh well. Is this the end for Little Death? Given enjoying his banana bread. Okay, so that is, I guess, the end. ... Question mark? No, definitely not, because there is the real true. I guess, well, maybe that was the climax. This is like the epilogue, the denouement. But yeah, no ado. Let's get into it. It's so good. This is where it's sort of a reversal or subversion of the assumed narrative. We'll get to that. First of all, there's the bit where Death tries to have the last blast at you. We're back in Heartbreak subspace. Brought our motorbike this time. I'm going to use all the skills we've learned over the course of the game. Death. I think you're safe if you're at the very edges. Plus there's a constant. Oops. Oh. I know I repeated this segment multiple times on my first playthrough. Deaths at all, you end up with quite a multiplier. Sorry. Both comes back briefly. He can't shoot that. Oh. Riding on the flying sword. Job done. The fool's influence leaves our heroine. But what's this? What's this? So we're back on the skateboard. No magic powers here, but we have the power of love. This might be my favorite song.
Then the voices of the three divine arcana echoed from the beyond. And through the wind, their words soared. From the shards of your broken heart, the real heaven has risen. You have restored the lost harmony of the world. Now you must go and find harmony in your home.
Kiss the dragon. Every game should end with you kissing the dragon. Great surprise in reverse here. Oops. That's right, this is the Rayman 2 setting. Riding the flying man.
Silver Rank.
Oh, actually did a Zodiac.
Not long
Great.
ago, in a town much like yours, there was a young
I wonder
woman
what that was.
who fell out of love, asleep, away. For years she fell through spirals of sadness and anger until she could not fall any deeper and fell right back into her grave.
What's the word? Does that thing have a name?
And that's Sayonara Wild Hearts.
When familiar surroundings just don't look the same, do you think that it's strange? It's my way, I suppose.
yeah, thank you to everyone who made this game. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Come on, take me to a place I don't know.
Oh, of course, Queen Latifah. That's it. So that's supposed to be a surprise till the end because I spoiled it earlier.
Sayonara, Wild Hearts.
Indeed. Wow.
Album Arcade unlocked.
Indeed, yes. That is the mode I was talking about earlier.
Something's changed, and I didn't know you're slipping away.
So I could do this now, Album Arcade, unlock that after finishing the game, and that's the whole lot of it in one go. It takes about an hour, as you can see.
Something's changed.
And yeah, that's something that I'll just do every now and then, I think, because yeah, this game is an amazing experience. But I hope you enjoyed watching it too. There's plenty of playthroughs online that have no mistakes. Actually, we should look at this. I got the Pisces. Got all square coins in one run of Wild Hearts Never Die, the final level. Nice. Didn't realise I'd done that, but there you go. So these are just bonus goals you can work to if you feel like it. Yeah, so like I said, there are good playthroughs online. This was not the best playthrough, but I just wanted to do it, and I think it's a great game. Yes. And check out the soundtrack too if you want to. But that's it for this stream. Thank you for joining me. Hope you had a good time. I'm gonna need to, yes, sit down and compose myself after that. Whew. Good stuff. Alright, cool. Catch you next time. Love you all. Bye-bye.